This week, Fox News fired the top-rated host, yeah, you know him, Tucker Carlson, and people were shocked, including none other than 45 himself, former President Donald Trump, who spoke exclusively to our very own Greg Kelly this week. Check it out.
Well, I'm shocked. I'm surprised. He's a very good person, a very good man, and very talented, as you know, and he had very high ratings. I think Tucker's been terrific. He's been, especially over the last year or so, he's been terrific to me. Maybe he left because he wasn't being given his free reign. He wants free reign, maybe, but I was surprised by it.
All right, well, you heard from the man himself. Let's bring in one of his closest confidants, our first guest tonight, to discuss the departure of Tucker Carlson from Fox. Senior national security analyst and former acting DNI, former ambassador to Germany, Ric Grenell joins us. Rick, thanks for joining us tonight on The Count. What do you think was, to you, the most shocking part of Fox firing Tucker?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's a great show. I love this show that summarizes the news for the week. Keep it up. It's a really needed show. Look, I think that this week what we saw, really, Fox News thought that they were more popular than Tucker Carlson, and so they made a power move. They got rid of him, and the backlash has been enormous. I think that individuals, especially within the media, who we become accustomed to, who are giving us the news every night, giving us good perspective, doing the research to figure out the angles of the news, so the rest of us who aren't full-time gathering the news can just sit back and hear a perspective. I think a lot of people respect Tucker Carlson. They like his work. They like the fact that he does a lot of research. And what we saw this week is the public responded in enormous ways. I mean, we saw them getting very frustrated with Fox News and the decision to cut Tucker. We here at Newsmax picked up a huge amount of viewers. Hopefully they're still with us. I love this news channel, Newsmax. I think we act like a startup, which means we're hungry. We are filled with the entrepreneurial spirit, and we always say yes to everything. So I think it's a great channel, and I think the public right now is seeing that Fox News made a big mistake.
Rick, you know, I spent about 25 years on Wall Street, and I've been following the last few years this kind of axiom, go woke, go broke. But you look at Nike, you look at Netflix, you look at Disney, you look at all these stocks that went all in on BLM and the whole woke agenda, and they're all down like 40 to 50%. And I think what we're seeing here is the same thing. Fox has been going woke. Guys like me and you recognize it, but the general public maybe doesn't really see every detail. But Lachlan Murdoch and his family have been giving hundreds of millions of dollars to the Democrats. And this was, to me, them saying, we're going woke. And I think they wind up going broke, personally. But even Russia weighed in with their foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, gave a statement on the firing of Tucker. He said, perhaps it would be useful to consider how things are with freedom of speech in the United States. I've heard that Tucker Carlson has left Fox. It's curious news. What is this related to? Only one can only guess, but clearly the wealth of views in the American information space has suffered as a result. Talk about the decline of America under Joe Biden when Russia's scolding us about First Amendment and free speech.
Well, there's a lot in there. Let me first start by saying I've served with Sergei Lavrov at the UN for a number of years. I know him fairly well. He is a master of manipulating the media. He's also an incredible liar. He's got no credibility. He has a love-hate relationship with the Americas because he understands us. He's lived in the United States for a long time. He understands us. So he's going to use the Tucker Carlson thing to his benefit. We used to call that propaganda. And Russians are really good at propaganda, and we need to call it out. I think what's happening, though, with this woke culture, as you describe, is this insular idea of Washington, D.C. and corporations. History is filled with a lot of leaders who lose touch with the followers, whether it's unions, whether it's any big movement whatsoever. I think there's an argument to say Republican leadership at the national level over the years, Democratic leadership over the years, and it's certainly true of Congress in Washington, D.C. What the rest of us who live outside of Washington, D.C., what we see is just the breakdown of common sense. I mean, we've got a Supreme Court justice who doesn't know what a woman is. That's crazy.
Right.
And so we've lost our way, and we've lost common sense, and everything seems to be being rewritten, and the American people are fed up with it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize, I follow stocks a little closer, but you look at all the major media companies, including Fox, you got BlackRock, you got Vanguard, you got State Street, and they all own the majority stakes in these companies. And you were right on the money what you said before. People over here at this company know that Chris Reddy built this thing with his own hands from the ground up, and that's why this entrepreneurial spirit is here. And for all you people switching over from Fox, stay here, stay tuned, because it's only getting better. But Rick, I want you to take a look at this Rasmussen poll. It says, who has the better following, Fox or Tucker? And it looks pretty clear. You know, it almost looks like Trump versus DeSantis in the primaries. Tucker 59, unfavorable 34. So, you know, it's Fox is, it seems like Tucker's a lot more popular than Fox itself.
Yeah, and that's common sense. I think people would have seen that if they just looked at the ratings. It's not the 8 o'clock time slot on Fox News that was rating. It was Tucker Carlson that was rating. And so people need to look at the facts. Look, I've made it clear to Tucker, he's a friend of mine, and I've made it clear that I think he would be fantastic at Newsmax. I hope he comes over here. I hope he considers it very seriously, has direct conversations when he can. But I've made it clear that I think that Newsmax is the perfect place for Tucker Carlson. Absolutely.
And certainly be a field day, because it looks like now Fox is serving up a sacrificial host in Lawrence Jones, throwing him into Tucker's shoes. Looks like it could be a tough one for him.
Look, I think that 8 o'clock time slot has been damaged, and it's not about Lawrence, it's not about anybody else, but it's about the fact that Fox took away their top rated, and look at the ratings. He was number one. He was the number one Fox News host consecutively and consistently. And when you take that away and you just think you can put somebody else in there at 8 o'clock and everything is going to be fine, I think you take advantage of your viewers, because people are clearly tuning in at 8 o'clock for Tucker, and then they're tuning out because the other hosts were not as popular. So people were in and out, but they came to Fox to find Tucker, and I think that that audience is going to follow Tucker wherever he goes.
All right, well, Tucker, we're waiting for you, and in the meantime, long live Eric Bowling. Rick, thank you so much. Really appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.